Time for the faith walk of the day. Psalms 34, love it. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I want to talk about magnifying the Lord. We say it, we sing it, we sing many songs about magnifying the Lord, but I don't know that we always magnify the Lord. Sometimes we magnify our problems. We magnify who did something wrong. We can tell everybody and spread that bad news. And girl, have you heard? And have you heard? And have you heard? And we magnify things without the intention of helping that thing get better. We just magnify for the sake of magnifying the mess. I don't know. Some people's justification is, I just got to keep it 100, girl. I'm not covering up nothing. Whatever. Messy, testy. God bless you. But the scripture tells us to magnify the Lord. How are you magnifying the Lord in your life? How are you magnifying the Lord in the dark place? How are you magnifying the Lord in the place of holding when God has not moved you forward as fast as you want to? How are you magnifying the Lord, understanding that there is purpose in every stage and phase in your life? There is nothing wasted in the kingdom. That has been so comforting to my spirit when I get in places that I don't want to be and that I don't really like. I learned to still say nothing is wasted in the kingdom. Even this is going to serve a purpose. It's going to work out for my good, even when it's uncomfortable. So I learned to magnify the Lord in every situation. It is not the easiest thing to do. Trust me. Listen, I'm never trying to just speak Christianese for the sake of speaking Christianese. I know sometimes the last thing you want to hear is, babe, girl, God is going to work it out. You're like, I've heard that forever and ever. When is it going to change? But when you really learn to quiet your spirit, I'm not saying over spiritualize, right? But don't go too far to the left and walk away from God, when what you should be saying is, God, you are in control. And even in my brokenness and even in my misunderstanding of what's happening in my life or why it's happening, I will still trust that you are in control and that you love me and that you care and that you are supreme and sovereign, and you can still allow this to work out for my good. Learning to magnify the Lord can really change and transform your life. It has helped me greatly in the last few years of my life, because sometimes we spend so much time trying to be realistic, and you do have to kind of be honest about what you're going through. I'm not saying don't ignore it. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't just praise your way through it and ignore the problem. You got to deal with what's going on and why it happened and where you are. I'm a fan of therapy. I think it's helpful. I'm a fan of counseling. I think it's very helpful. But learning to magnify God above what's going on will keep you sane. It will keep the enemy from telling you, see, you're never going to win. This is going to happen to you again and again and again. This happened to you because God is mad at you. I don't think that's why it happened. And I think when we learn to magnify God in the situation, keeping him in the center of the problem, in the center of the situation, you don't have to lose your mind or fall apart. You don't have to put your focus on the wrong thing, something that will take you further down the hole that you're trying to avoid, So learn to magnify God in every situation. Keep him first. Keep your eyes on him, even in the tough stuff, even when you feel like it's been taking way too long. All right, magnify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together is what the scripture says.